So I now have my slide and I now have to try and identify the pollen grains from this. So the next stage is to put it under the microscope and to see what we actually have. Okay, so we've now put the slide under the microscope and we're looking at it at a magnification, so of times 400. So that means this is 400 times bigger than what you can see than when we were just looking at that slide just now, which is why we can start to see some of the characteristics of those little tiny dots that were on there before. And I can make things move around on here as well. So they're in a kind of gel, which means that I can move them like this. Oops, and send it all flying. But also you hopefully get the idea that these things are not necessarily flat. So a pollen grain, normally when you would find it, are quite round. A bit like a ball is probably the easiest way to describe it. So imagine you've got something like a football in front of you and you're holding it in front of you, probably about the same height as your tummy, and you're looking down on it. And what the microscope is doing is looking down directly onto that top bit of the ball. And obviously, if you're looking at the top bit, you can't see the bottom bit. But what I can do with the microscope is I can use the focus, because they're a little bit see-through, to go through them. So that's why it's all going blurry, but it's not all going blurry. So if you look carefully, you'll notice that different bits of it are coming into focus and are becoming clear at different times. So what we've got right in the centre here at the moment is a grass pollen. Now, this is very billowy and it's very clear, and it has one pore. So pollen grains have pores, they have little hollows in them, but they also have lines as well. And some will have both, some will have pores and lines, and some will just have lines, and some will just have pores. So that one there is a grass pollen, and we can see its pore just there. But let's go for a little bit of a wander on this slide and see what else we can find. Just now we had a really nice, here we go, let's see if I can get him to come into focus for us. There, now what I'm looking at is, get him to stay still. That one there. Can you see it? It's got, it's moved again. Let's see if we can find another one that's still. It might actually just float back round for us if we're lucky. It's this one here that I'm trying to look at. This is a small leaf lime pollen grain, and this one, when it comes into view, I'll show you, has got 3 different pores on it. But small leaf lime is a tree that we don't have very much nowadays, but used to be part of our prehistoric woodlands. So it was a very strong component of them between about 6,000 or 7,000 years ago. So this is the one here. Its Latin name, because a lot of the trees we deal with when plants have Latin names, is called Tilia. And you can see there's 1 pore, 2, and then the third one's just on the top. That's one of my favourite pollen grains. Let's see what else we've got on this slide. That one there, again in the centre, is an older pollen grain. And these have between 4 or 5 pores. So the other one we looked at just had 3. And this has got 4 around the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4. An alder is a tree that grows in wet places. It really likes to have its feet wet, so it likes to have roots somewhere close to water. So I can already start to tell you that we've got a landscape with some grass in it and some trees, and it's probably close to water. And we've only seen 3 pollen grains so far, really, to get that information from. Also, I get these little black blobs here. And quite often things like this are charcoal. So I can also say that people were burning things in this environment too, or that there were natural forest fires occurring. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of an insight into what I do, and also how I came to do what I do now. And you hopefully have managed to get the impression that this is something that I really love doing. I'm really passionate about it. And it all stemmed from really coming back to when I was at school and what I really loved doing when I was your age, effectively. So that's what I'd like to leave you with today. I'd like you to go away and have a think about some of these questions. And they're really easy questions. I just want you to think about what subjects you really like studying at school, and also what types of things you like about them. So it could be that they allow you to be creative, or it could be that you
like the fact that something's very logical or very fact-based, or it could be that it allows you to write or it allows you to think. And there's all these different things that they can do. It's not necessarily about just that I like history or I like maths, but what is it about those things that you like? And really just starting to try and think about what those things are can really help them broaden out the horizons to what other jobs there might be, because then you can start thinking really broadly about what's out there. And you never know what you might end up being. You might even end up being an environmental archaeologist like me. But it's been really lovely speaking to you today, and I would really love to know what you will want to do when you get older. So if you do have any ideas, let your teachers know and they can send them on to me as well. And if you have any questions, please do ask them. And again, they can forward those on to me as well. So I will leave you all now, and thank you very much. Bye.